Hi, this is Belinda Calibriali and this is Talking High Performance with Belle. So I'm making this podcast for people who want to live their best life, people who know that there's more in them, but they just don't know how to get it. So there's a gap, something's missing, I'm making it for them. Welcome to another episode of Talking High Performance with Belle. And before I begin this episode, I just want to say thank you to those of you who have reached out in the past month via a text or via an email just to really tell me about some things that are working well in your life at the moment. So I love hearing about it. So if there's anything that you've heard that's really resonated, let me know because it really makes this job even more worthwhile than what it already is. Today, I want to talk about discussing a topic that many of us struggle with, and that's maintaining productivity in efficiency in a world that's filled with distractions. And I've labeled this the art of focus because it is an art. Being focused is a form of mastery. And the skill to be able to really focus on what you want from life, to be able to cut out the excuses that you've been playing out, over the past few months or sometimes even over the past few years, and really set goals and draw a line in the sand and go, okay, from this point onwards, I'm really going to change and I'm really going to change these parts of my life is really, really important. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. How do you navigate the sea of distractions that are out there and really be able to concentrate on what matters? So I'll be sharing with you 6 strategies to help you do just that and to help you master the art of focusing in your own life. So strategy 1 is all around embracing imperfections around focus. So this is about ditching the perfectionism. Achieving 100% focus all the time is a myth and it's impossible to do. And, for me, perfectionism is overrated and it's boring. So instead, focus on a mindset that celebrates imperfections as part of the journey and recognize that imperfections are telling you something. Sometimes they're telling you that you need to rest. Sometimes they're telling you that you may not even be on the right path. Recognizing what it is that holds you back is really, really important in moving you forward. Sometimes we can't focus because we're tired. Sometimes we can't focus because we're missing a vital piece of information that we may need that's holding us back. Sometimes we can't focus because we're just not loving what we're doing and we haven't been loving it, for 5 years and it's been hard to focus for 5 years. Whereas when we find that thing that we're passionate about, all of a sudden being focused is a lot easier and you can be a lot more productive. So working out what is it that is holding you back when it comes to focus and embracing that and digging a little bit deeper is really important. You don't need to be focused 100% of the time. So that's the first point, recognizing and embracing your imperfections around focus and digging a little bit deeper sometimes and going, why am I unfocused and does something need to change around that? Strategy number 2 is not sweating the small stuff. So don't wait until things are perfect to aim for your goals. Try them now, learn them and tweak them. Usually it's the focus and determination that you show in the early days when things are harder that paves the way for success later on. So it's being focused, being consistent and being disciplined that really sets you up later on. And quite often people stop what they're doing when it gets hard or they stop what they're doing when it's not working. And I tell people all the time, you're planting the seeds. It takes time to grow. It takes time to see what you've actually done and what you've been working on pay off. And when it does come, it comes in floods, but it's planting those initial seeds that is one of the differences that separates a high performer from the rest because they will see it through, they will tweak where needed, and they won't give up. So that is the second point. The first time I released a podcast in episode 1, I was nervous. I said a million times. I was completely different to where I am now, episode 45. But when I do episode, 3,000, I don't know why I picked that number, it's going to be completely different again. There have been people that have been podcasting for 5, 10, 20 years. They're a lot more confident. They've been doing it longer. That's okay. This is the point that I'm at now. I'm happy with it and I'll continue to tweak and, refine what I do. Same as reels. The first time I appeared on a reel, I was like, oh gosh, I don't even want to watch that. Now it's less cringy, but still I know that I need to keep focusing, stay consistent because I'm the harshest critic of myself, just like you are the harshest critic of yourself. And people will judge us. They might just not be our people. Constructive criticism is one thing, but people that judge when they're not doing it themselves, they're not our people, and we don't really need to listen to what they say. So point number 2 is not sweating the small stuff, recognizing that, things aren't going to be perfect all the time, but that's okay. Point number 3 is all around finding your unique productivity rhythm. So what does this mean? This is about finding out when you are productive and using that to your advantage. And when you can do that and focus on that, it's a real game changer. So for me, my most productive time to write or to produce is in the morning. So I found that blocking out a couple of times a week to do this is really important, where I can focus, where I can be uninterrupted, and it gets me closer to where I want to be and puts me in charge of my days and of my weeks. When I don't have this productive time set up, it's a completely different feeling. So I know that in order to be focused, in order to get me closer to my goals, setting up my days and finding my unique rhythm around that is super important. So have a think about your life and think about, where are you most focused and what are you doing during that time? Because that might involve some tweaking. It might be changing of meetings to different times of the day. It might be seeing your friends or family at different times of the day. It might be returning social phone calls at different times of the day. Work out what's important to get you to where you want to be, and then tweaking your productivity rhythm to help you with that. Point number 4 is noticing the distractions and learning how to manage them. So distractions are sneaky and they often pop up unexpectedly. But it's important to recognize that we are in charge of them and we can outsmart them. So what are management techniques that you have that can help you stay focused, especially when you feel like you're swaying? When we can think about technology or detoxing digitally, it could be switching off notifications. It could be not looking at emails at certain times of the day. It could be removing apps on your phone like YouTube or Facebook, something that really sends you into a downward spiral. So there's some distractions that could be reduced or even eliminated at certain times. Other times it could be that you need to notice the distractions that are important. So it could be putting motivational quotes on your wall. It could be sticking down your main points of what you want to get done this week and popping it somewhere where you can see it every day. It could also be saying no to catch up with a certain friend who you may love and love catching up with, but go, okay, if I do this, it's going to be good in the moment, but I'm going to regret it later on because I popped it in the wrong time. So going, I can't make this time, but I can make this time. So notice the distractions. Notice if they're if it's things that you need to implement that you need, or if they're distractions that are going to hold you back moving forward, and just try and tweak that where you can. Point number 5 is blocking time to reach your goals. So if you haven't ever played with time blocks, this is another really great way to stay focused. So in my own life, and if I use myself as an example, there are many areas that I need to juggle: work, family, life admin, self-care, etc., trash TV, etc., etc. So blocking time is super important, and it involves dedicating focused chunks to specific tasks and then intentionally blocking around those tasks. So for example, if I look at my diary today, I've got a block of time of half an hour to do life admin. I've got time to write emails for the next month. I've got time where I'm recording my podcast. I've got time for coaching calls. And it's blocked, because when it's blocked and it's done in chunks, it's more productive. So that's how I use my time blocks. There's a block for going for a walk. So this is really, really important. So where can you block time in your own life in order to help you reach your goals and stay focused during that time on that specific task? So if an email comes in, you're not listening and to the notification and go, I'm going to go check email now. I'm going to respond to that. And you get caught down a rabbit hole before you come back to the task. It could be putting emails on silent, doing 1 hour of this particular task, 2 hours of this one, whatever works for you. So that's a really important one. Blocking time to reach your goals really helps really helps you to stay focused. And my last point is celebrating the wins, the big ones and also the small ones, and enjoying the process along the way. A great way to stay focused and inspired and motivated for the journey ahead is to have things that you're excited about moving forward. A great way to do this is to set yourself up for these wins. So go, when I reach this, I'm going to reward myself with this. It could be when I finish recording these podcasts, I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. It could be when I have finished this project at work, I'm going to catch up with a friend for dinner. Whatever it is, building little systems to reward yourself and acknowledge your achievements is really important in moving you forward and fueling that motivation. And it helps you to stay focused on the task at hand. So whether it's a night out for dinner or taking a mini break or giving yourself the day off, this is an important part in helping you to stay focused and create that future that you really, really want. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. There you have it, 6 ways to help you maintain focus and begin to create mastery in that part of your life. So whether it's embracing imperfections, not sweating the small stuff, finding your new unique productivity rhythm, noticing distractions when they come in and learning how to manage them, blocking time to reach your goals, or celebrating the wins, these are all really important in mastering the art of focus. And it's an ongoing journey, a journey that we need to continuously tweak. So applying these strategies will really help to move that needle forward. And if you find that you're struggling with one, reach out, head to my website, and let's have a chat for 15 minutes to see how I can help you untangle this. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week, we are wrapping up Efficiency Month, and we're revisiting one of the most listened to episodes on Talking High Performance with Belle. So stay tuned if you're on my email list, because that will be coming out. If you're not, click on the link below and just sign up to that. And until then, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life every day. Your coach, Belle.